listening to the White Wall Sessions Radio.
Welcome to the White Wall Sessions Radio. I'm your host, Dan Schaefer. On tonight's show, part 2 of Tough Old Bird, Woody and the Tucker Hill Citizens Brigade, and RADDA RADDA. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are now accepting submissions for Season 8. To apply, visit whitewallsessions.com. The White Wall Sessions would like to thank these fine sponsors for their support. Last Stop CD Shop, Bell Incorporated, Workplace IT Management, J. Rick Luthery, The University Center, Screen Flare, The Pink Moon Room, Club David, Great Outdoor Store, local branded convenience stores, Minuteman Press, Vishnu Bunny Tattoo and Piercing, and South Dakota Friends of Traditional Music. Tough Old Bird, a duo of brothers from Mount Morris, New York, came to Sioux Falls and pleased the studio audience with their mesmerizing harmonies and unforgettable lyrics. Tough Old Bird is Matthew Corrigan on guitar, vocals, and banjo, and Nate Corrigan on guitar, harmonica, accordion, and vocals.
Thanks for coming. We've never been to South Dakota before, and it's really nice to see you all here.
This song is called Where I'll Be Found. The sun swung down, and our hair smelled like the river. All the rocks worn down to sand. You can explain it any way you want to. I won't ever understand. They said his dog never did come home, and I left a bottle by the door. Your coffee's strong and your light is sweet. I won't be stopping by anymore. And if you need anything from me, you always know where I'll be found. Where I'll be found. Take those wet clothes off before you catch your death of cold. I skipped ahead and read the final page while you put the kettle on the stove. Alice came by this bridge she made, and my watch stopped at 1:30. The road was awful sharp, perfect. It could have happened to anyone. If you need anything from me, you always know where I'll be found. Where I'll be found. Charlie said, that's not the way we do things here. And there are wasps beneath the eaves. I went right home and told myself nothing had changed. You all can go anytime you please. And if you need anything from me, you always know where I'll be found. And if you need anything from me, you always know where I'll be found. Where I'll be found. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
The lyrics, I mean, the stories you guys are telling are really fascinating. Are those, do you sit down to tell a long story like that, or does the story start unfolding as you're writing the song?
Yeah, I mean, I typically start with just one little thought or a line or a phrase even, and kind of expand outward. And it kind of, the goal is to just sort of let it find its own way to being finished and not try to control that path too much.
Yeah, I think almost every song I've ever written, I've written the first line first and then just let it kind of go down from there. Which I don't know if that's normal or not. I've never really talked to anyone else about
Usually
it.
if it's one that I think is good, it'll be a surprise to me when it's done.
Yeah.
That's usually the sign to me that it's
So
worthwhile.
This is kind of a space age thing, but is a song something that sort of has its own soul and you just need to capture it and unfold it, or is it something you have to work hard at? You know what I'm saying?
I think it could be either the best ones have a life of their own, and you kind of just feel like you were lucky enough to grab it.
Exactly.
There are other ones that we've worked at, and sometimes they turn out and sometimes they don't. But the best songs, I think, are the ones that just kind of drop on you unexpectedly.
Sure.
The song is called Build It Again.
heard it go down to the wire on Saturday night. Louise was crying in the dark, and the windmill stopped turning, and the horse barn was burning. The sky met the ash and the spark, and once I realized I was a shepherd in disguise, Louise took hold of my hand. But the sun started sinking and the main line was shaking. She quickly let go again. Oh, and swing us safely across the water. Swing us safely across the water to be well again. And maybe I can breathe easy. Maybe I can breathe easy and build it again. You know, I was born quiet, all lamb wool and silence, like the ticking of a clock in the hall. And when the May winds come drifting through the window of our kitchen, Louise, I'll never know why I settled down. 'Cause sometimes it gets so quiet, my eyes so tired. You know, I just can't stand the noise of my thoughts as they go drifting through the window of our kitchen to where I can be satisfied. Hide and swing us safely across the water. Swing us safely across the water to be well again. When maybe I can breathe easy. Maybe I can breathe easy and build it again. When swing us safely across the water. Swing us safely across the water to be well again. And maybe I can breathe easy, and maybe I can breathe easy and build it again.
Thank you.
Coming up after the break, Woody and the Tucker Hill Citizens Brigade.
Yeah, sure.
You're listening to the White Wall Sessions Radio.
Woody and the Tucker Hill Citizens Brigade from Norfolk, Nebraska, visited the studio for a dynamic old-school down and dirty rock and blues party. Woody and the Tucker Hill Citizens Brigade is Glenn Woody Henkel, keyboard and vocals, Randy Rudy Rutten, bass and vocals, Vito Cole, acoustic guitar and vocals, Eddie Alfers, electric guitar and vocals, and Andrew Bohr on drums.
Mosey Right on, folks. Thank you.
Did you start like doing a cover band, or did you start originals right away, or kind of both?
We met when I was in a blues band, I think, and just pretty much just got together and started playing and started the group itself. Yeah.
About 2007,
Yeah.
I returned to Nebraska
Yep.
with my wife and settled back at the family farm and started from Colorado and North Carolina.
Parts unknown.
Also, all parts unknown. But on the original or cover, from the beginning, there's a predominance of cover bands around us, and so from the beginning, it was always like, "Hey, let's just do originals." And I'd been doing original bands in North Carolina and Colorado, so that was just what I wanted to do.
Is that what attracted you to the band, Eddie and Vito, or
Well, I was playing in still am. I have another band. The guy who started that band knew Glenn, and I started sitting in with earlier formations of this band. I think it started when I was playing with you on and off, and then he had this terrible accident where he broke his arm. Couldn't play guitar, but I knew he played piano, so I said, hey, you can play keyboards, and I'll come play guitar with you. And that was a bit on and off.
Yeah.
And then it just kind of settled in, and then we brought Vito along.
Yeah, there was maybe a 6-month period where I played my left hand with one finger. Because I still have the scars. I still have the scars. I had all sorts of metal plates in here, and I fell off my roof and just shattered my radius, and so they pieced it all back together. But it was all hell with metal, and so I needed to reach out to other people to reform the band immediately. We had literally like 4 weeks before going to Colorado. I mean, when that happened.
Wow.
So we found some other players to sit in and fill in, and Eddie was part of that exploration.
Wait, you shattered your left arm, and 4 weeks later you were playing in Colorado?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Salute, huh?
When you get a booking, you can't mess that booking up, man. You don't get called back. I mean, you can't miss that. Hell or high water.
You say,
go.
hey, my arm is broken. To say, hey, well, you got another one, so get in there.
I played on this side, and I just followed. I pecked my bass line.
And drove all the way to Colorado.
And drove the whole way. I did. Nobody else. You're right about that. Thank you. I don't get enough credit for that.
Can I help? No.
No.
Vito, when did you join these guys?
It was 2016, and they had asked me to. Well, Woody had asked me to come along with them to Colorado, and that I could play some rhythm, and they would feature some of my songs. And I was like, okay, that sounds good. I was unemployed, so I didn't have a lot going on. So my wife was extremely pregnant at the time, and so that was a stressful first trip. But after that, I think it was on the last day of that little tour or whatever, everybody was just kind of like, well, you might as well just join the band. Okay. All right, I will. Because I'd been honestly trying to get into the band for a long time. And so they kept denying me. So yeah, it worked out good.
So you mentioned that you brought some songs into the band, and they were willing to play them. I noticed there's 3 different guys singing. Is there 3 writers or more? Or
In general, 3. Yeah. But we've started some more morphing of things where if stuff happens in practice, I mean, at this point, to be honest, some of the newer stuff that develops in the middle of rehearsal, none of us could really claim to be the sole author of.
Sure.
So it's morphing into that. But for the most part, we bring pretty finished material concepts, you know, up, and then everybody has a chance to like do what they want with it in a sense. But for the most part, Eddie's writing his songs and comes to us and says what the key is, and if he wants,
if I
you
know
know,
the key,
if
yeah.
you know the key.
I do a lot of writing in my head, and then when I get there and try to play it, it's like, wait a minute.
Well, maybe A. Yeah.
You know,
We start with A.
between the 3 of us, too, there's, you know, basically about 70, 75 years of songwriting. So,
It's just me.
well,
No.
You're
Just
not an
because you
octogenarian
knew,
yet.
just because you knew Beethoven doesn't mean.
Well, that's interesting because the experience and years of songwriting. How has that changed over the years, and how have bands changed, over the last decades, or have they?
One way is it's a whole lot easier to do your own recording at home or some such venue. This last record we did, I date myself, it's a record, right? No, we do have a record.
We
have it in
vinyl. Yeah.
We recorded that in Randy's basement.
Huh?
And then Glenn mixed it. And then, of course, you have to send it off to pros to get it mastered and
Shined up.
finished up, that sort of thing. But I think that's a huge difference. I think people can do their own things at home if they have a little bit of equipment and a good bit of skill.
Sure. I mean, you guys have been around for a while, so are the songs still just coming straight from what you think they need to be, or do you have to change them a little bit for the times or the style, or do you just keep them true to what you want?
I just try to make sure that the key is right so that I don't blow out my voice about halfway through the set.
That's the right answer. I think the reason I asked that is because we all felt just a straightforward, great rock and roll soul type band here, and it seems to me that this band plays from the soul and from the heart rather than what you think people need to, what people want you to be. Is that a right assessment?
Exactly.
I think that would be fair.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's true, because if you listen to the set we played tonight, and there are a variety of styles,
Huge
to
variety.
say the least.
Working nightclubs ain't no way to make a living, although she says it pays pretty well. Now all the speed and alcohol, she swears she's gonna quit soon, helps air condition her hair. She'll take a deep drag off the sailing 100 and let the smoke drift out her mouth. Then she'll proceed to tell you all the sordid details about how her life has gone south. Tell you she's a fallen angel, that's the song she sings. I wonder how she'll ever get back to heaven. She never even had wings. She doesn't like to cry. Think that's why she gets so high. Helps her hold back the tears. Tell you about the girls she carried, the ones she had to give away. And she'll say 17 is just too young to be a mother, but she still regrets it every day. She says she used to be a real looker, that was many years ago. But now she's faded out and frayed around the edges. Says it only goes to show. She tell you she's a fallen angel, that's the song she sings. I wonder how she'll ever get back to heaven. She never even had wings. She tell you she's a fallen angel, that's the song she sings. I wonder how she'll ever get back to heaven. She never even had wings.
Thank you. Coming up after the break, RADDA RADDA.
You're listening to the White Wall Sessions Radio.
RADDA RADDA, a four-piece rock and roll band from Minneapolis, Minnesota, performed on the White Wall Sessions for Season 6 and electrified the crowd and crew alike. RADDA RADDA is Chris Mo Machinsky on guitar and vocals, Alan Mayer on drums, Matthew Broadbent on bass, and Grant Silberg on guitar.
Let's sing the day up for the night and have ourselves a good time. I've got the whiskey, you bring the smoke. Your tight blue jeans and your long blonde hair, take me for a ride, babe. Whenever we get there, whenever we get there, we're off of the trail, headed into the dark. If we only had life again, we're off of the trail, stumbling into the dark. If we only had time again. Now people come and people go, but you shine like a bright light. A mist of everyone's shadow. You've got to take me for a ride. You've got to take me for a ride. Whenever we get there, whenever we get there, we're off of the trail, headed into the dark. If we only had light again, we're off of the trail, stumbling into the dark. If we only had time again. Now we got on in some good thing. Whenever we get there, whenever we get there, we're off of the trail, headed into the dark. If we only had light again, we're off of the trail, stumbling into the dark. If we only had time again, we're off of the trail, headed into the dark. If we only had light again, we're off of the trail, stumbling into the dark. If we only had life again. 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 If we only had life again.
Again, back to the sound of this band. The tone is just really, I think is great, and it really fits the music. Have you always sort of had that kind of tone, or did you kind of start tapering it for this band?
I have no knowledge of tones or amps. I just wiggle knobs until I really like something, and once I like it, I'm too scared to change it, so I just keep it there. Wrong answer, I guess. I mean, well, let me go see it.
There's a big X on the screen right now.
That's 2 strikes.
We only get one more, dudes.
There's somebody back there's just like, ha, 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 ha.
How about your tone, Mo? Because that AC-15 and the telly and that sound works so well with this band.
That's great to hear. Thank you. I'm not like a super huge tone nerd myself. I like he said, I kind of like trial and error until I kind of get how stuff works. But I love Telecasters. I love like the bite. You know, I love the Nashville Telly with like the 3 pickup configuration and stuff. You know, it's like super versatile. You can do anything with it, and yeah, I think that we're constantly trying to like mesh together and figure out.
We're out.
See you later.
Thank you. Good night. Well, this is easy with all that. Where do these songs come from? Are you the chief songwriter?
Somewhat. There's a few that like Grant has written. We've got more than what we did. We've got like a record now. We're starting to write more for another record, and Grant writes stuff from the ground up. I write stuff from the ground up, and then I have a tendency. I know a lot of bands will get together in a room and like just like build things together. I'm like, I get in my studio at home and I cannot stop. It's really bad. Like I'll start at 7 p.m. and be like, that's okay, I'll go to bed at 11. And next thing I know, it's 3 a.m. and I have a finished song. Like, crap, they're gonna kill me, you know. So for the earlier stuff that we ended up using like Our Holiday and Pennies and a couple other ones that we used on the record. We still made a lot of like drastic changes to them. You know, we all talked about it, and Matt had a gazillion ideas for all of them, and we spent a lot of time like trying stupid stuff just to see, you know, how it went. But yeah, for the most part, we kind of just we throw stuff together. Like we know what we like, and we want it to be something we like. And luckily, we happen to like, you know, stuff with pop sensibility that's like pretty listenable.
Yeah.
You know, so
have you ever done one of those stupid things and it suddenly changes the song and goes there? You know, you talked about the different things you try.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I mean, we'll just try like, hey, what if we added this extra bar here? What if we changed this chord? And we'll all kind of just do that little part and think about it. Like,
well,
okay, yeah.
Simple Times, for example, was an old song.
Yeah, Grant
and it was like a really heavy, just like
it was like this
kind of an emo basher song, you know. And that's what that turned into. Yeah.
Grant and I wrote that together. I had like an idea, and he was like, "That verse is stupid. Do this instead." I was like, "Okay," and we threw that together like 10 years ago.
Yeah, a long time. We've been just sitting on that one.
Well,
but it changed a lot.
Yeah. So
the application. Yeah.
So the feel of a song is what brings people to listen to it. I like that song, but to me, the lyrics and the meaning of the song is what keeps people coming back, right? Sure. And so, who writes the lyrics of this band? Because there's some really cool stuff going on in those songs.
Most of the lyrics, I mean, Grant writes a bunch. Like Into the Dark was almost entirely Grant's doing. Actually, I think lyrically it was entirely his doing, and we didn't change much in that. But I write a lot of the lyrics for the most part. We do always have like powwows. I'm pretty careful about like, I don't know, writing stuff that comes out of my heart and out of my brain, like to like give to the masses is like, okay, this is like kind of makes you feel vulnerable.
Very vulnerable, yeah.
And so I always give it to everybody else. Like, do you think this is stupid? What can we change this to that's better? And a lot of times, you know, Alan or Matt will have an idea. Like, oh, let's try this instead, you know. Little changes here and there, or,
What do you think a song should do to people? Should it make them dance? Should it make them think? Should it make them laugh, cry, or all of the above?
Yes.
All of them. Yeah.
That's when you're getting all those emotions. You think that's when you got a winner?
Well, I mean, that's the wonderful thing about music is that it means something different to everybody. So like one song can mean one thing to you, it can mean something completely different to the other. But it's all about just having that connection, right? Like you know how it is, like when you've heard that one song, like the first time you hear it and how it makes you feel, and then 5, 10, 15, 20 years later you hear it again, and it's all of a sudden you're back where you were when you first heard it.
I love that.
That's like that's the beauty of music. I mean, it's literally the only universal language. It doesn't matter what dialect you speak. Anybody can pick up a guitar or play a piano, and just by the chords you play, you can convey that emotion, which is really powerful. So
it's nostalgic.
Yeah, it really is. So I think like when it comes to writing, we just write to write, and then it's up to everybody else to kind of interpret it how they want to interpret it. And I think that's the beauty of music, is that it can be something different to everybody.
Sure. Anyone else want to add to that? That's really cool.
was very well said.
I don't speak very often, but when I do, I make sure it counts.
Nailed it. Very well said.
So let's go on to that. So when you're playing live, do you see that music connecting to people?
Oh, yeah.
And does that, I mean, I guess what is the feeling when you're seeing that person getting what you're trying to say or getting what you're trying to accomplish musically?
I mean, I think we've all been at those shows where you've just felt it and you can feel the energy in the room, right? It's palpable. I mean, you can't really put words to it. It's just there. It's an energy. And then there are the other shows where maybe it's not that. I mean, you know, like that's. I mean, yin and yang. That's how it is.
Yeah.
I remember like maybe our third show a while ago. I remember that was right after we put out Shifty Eyes. Not right after, like a couple weeks after. And where were we again? That was Eau Claire. Yeah, we were playing with Jim Pullman's band. And I just remember we started playing Shifty Eyes, and like a couple people came out, and I was watching people. You know, Grant and I playing a cover band. You know, we played with all these other groups and stuff, and that was the first time in kind of a while that I've actually watched somebody like stand there and dance and sing the words to a song that we wrote. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like I was like, wow, that made me feel really neat for a long time.
Yeah, that would be really cool. Is there a favorite place to play in Minneapolis?
I thought you were going to say anywhere in general. I was going to say the White Wall Sessions.
Yeah, we knew that. That was a given.
We actually haven't played.
Yep, never played at home yet.
I mean, we have with other projects, obviously, but as this group, next Friday is actually our official album release party, and it'll be the first time that we've played Minneapolis.
And our friend Jillian Ray is going to be there.
Yep, Jillian's going to be there, and then our friend Savannah Smith is also going to be joining us. She actually sang on Pennies for the Train on the record.
Oh, is
she
that
came
right?
in and cut the vocals for that. She's great. I actually used to work with her back in the day. It's kind of weird.
Really?
Come full circle.
There you go.
Hook and Ladder Theater, June 8th.
There you go.
That's my movie voice. This summer. Friday. For men, Friday night.
This will be out.
So let's talk about your album, Life Again. That's the first album you have, right?
Yeah.
Correct, yeah.
Where'd you record that?
In Minneapolis with our friend Colt Lieb. We've done previous projects with him. Mm-hmm. We did all the tracking of the drums at Terrarium Studios, and then the rest of it at Colt's studio called Northwood Studio, Minneapolis.
When I came home, you were in there, and TV's gone, the closet's bare. It's 4 a.m., where are you sleeping? How are you feeling? Whatever. And I smashed all of my guitars. I got kicked out of every bar and tore up all of your love letters. There, that's better. Whatever. And I wish that this could just go on forever. But for now I'll sit and think of how to say it calm and clever. Speaking out the words to put together is hard to do. Well, I just can't get over you. When I came home, you were in there. Well, I was firm, but I was fair. Everybody has their issues. Mine's I miss you. Whatever. If you come home, I'll make you breakfast. I'm gonna tired of being reckless. It's 8 a.m., where are you going? I hate knowing where you've been. And I wish that this could just go on forever. But for now I'll sit and think of how to say it calm is gone, the closet's bare. It's 4 a.m., where are you sleeping? How are you feeling? Whatever.
Thank you.
The White Wall Sessions is recorded at Last Stop Studios in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, and is produced by Spectrum Films Incorporated. Executive producers are Jeff Zuger, Doug Taylor, Greggy Johnson, and Jay Fishback. Head of broadcast is David Palmer. Associate producer is Mike Yeager. The White Wall Sessions Radio is produced and edited by Jeff Zuger. Audio recording and mixing by Kevin Phipps, Chad Conrad, August Dahlgren, and David Palmer. Scheduling and artist relations, Tom Eisner. Be sure to join us again next week. Same time, same place.
You're listening to the White Wall Sessions Radio.